Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuznuz here, and today's video is going to be a guide all about perking out your armor while using Ancient Invention. So we are going to first talk about the entry level perks, and then we'll move on to the best in slot or optimal perk setup. We'll talk about different possible combinations as well. To unlock and use Ancient Invention, you will need level 85 Invention. You'll then need to buy the Ancient Gizmo Blueprint from the GE, which currently is sold at 4.8 million gold. Once unlocked, you can make all the Ancient Gizmos. Specifically, the Ancient Armor Gizmos are what we will be focusing on and using today. So to make the Ancient Armor Gizmos, you'll need 20 deflecting parts, 20 historic components, 2 classic components, and 2 protective components. Now you can easily buy the historic and classic components via material crates off the Grand Exchange, and the deflecting and protecting components can be easily gotten by disassembling. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description on how to get those components by disassembling. Now we are going to talk about the budget perks for armor, and these are for more of entry level PVMers. So for your top, you'll want the combination of Relentless 3 and Crackling 4, although some people are fine with just Crackling 4. You'll also want Biting 3 as your second perk slot. As for your bottoms, you'll want Impatient 4 and then Enhanced Devoted 4. So first we are going to look at how to get your top perked out. Alright, so the first combination you'll want for your top is Crackling 4 and Relentless 3. Now Crackling 4 is a perk that damages the player's target every 60 seconds for 50% ability damage per rank in PVM, which is a huge deal for dealing passive damage. Relentless, on the other hand, is a perk that has a chance to prevent adrenaline from being consumed while using thresholds and ultimate abilities. This means with Relentless 3, there is a 3.3% chance if you use something like Death Swiftness, you will not use any adrenaline, which can be a massive DPS boost in PVM. So to get these perks, you will need level 90 for Invention. You will need to use 4 vintage components and 3 explosive components. Now the vintage components can be bought off the GE, and the explosive components can be gotten by disassembling hand cannons. At level 94 Invention, while using a Super Invention Potion, you have a 3.776 chance of getting this combination. But you'll have up to a 32% chance at level 120 Invention. However, just getting Crackling 4 is a 47% chance at level 94 Invention, and if you don't get lucky or don't want to spend the money for Relentless 3 Crackling 4, just getting Crackling 4 will work fine. This will cost you around 450k per attempt, or around 1 mil if you go just for Crackling 4, or on average 8 million if you go for the full combo at the lowest invention level possible, which is 94. Of course, if you have a higher invention level like 110, 120, you can get this for much cheaper. Moving on, the next perk we are going to be wanting to get is Biting 3 for your top. Now this perk is amazing, and it's a perk that has a 2% chance per rank to force each ability and auto attack to become a critical hit. With Biting 3, you will have an average hit increase of 3.8%, which is absolutely massive for a budget perk. You will need level 85 Invention for the Ancient Gizmos to be able to attempt for this perk, and you'll need to use 9 direct components in your Gizmo. You can get these components pretty fast by disassembling things like Blunt Salvage or Elder Rune pickaxes for around 75k for each component. At level 85 Invention, you have a 4.8% chance to get just Biting 3. This means each attempt will cost you around 675k or 14 million GP on average to get this perk, which is well worth it. Now we're going to move on to your legs, and the first perk we will talk about is Impatient 4. Impatient is an invention perk that has a chance to add 3% extra adrenaline while using basic abilities. Since basic abilities usually gain 8% adrenaline, Impatient will increase that to 11% when activated. This also stacks with the Fury of the Small archaeology relic to become an even more overpowered combination. To get Impatient 4, you will need to use 6 Zeros components and 1 Zamorak component. Zeros components can be obtained by disassembling Virtus wands and books to get them the most cost-effective way and average a cost of around 400k each. While Zamorak components can be obtained by disassembling the Zamorakian Molinier for an average price of 352k each. Now, getting Impatient 4 is an 80% chance at level 85 Invention while using a Super Invention potion, all the way up to a 94% chance at level 120 Invention. This means you should likely get this perk in one attempt, but maybe two if you're unlucky. In total, you are looking at an average cost of 2 to 4 million GP to get this perk. Moving on to the final perk for your legs, it is Enhanced Devoted 4, which Enhanced Devoted is an invention perk that has a chance on each hit of replicating the Devotion ability for 3 seconds, which will cause protection and deflection prayers to reduce damage from the appropriate style to 1. The activation chance at rank 4 is 18%, which makes this a great defensive perk for absorbing damage passively. To get this perk, it will require level 85 Invention for the Ancient Gizmos, and it requires 8 faceted components per attempt. Now, the cheapest way to get faceted components is by disassembling empty light orbs or Batwing and Imp-Hide items. This has an average cost of around 30 to 40k each, which means each attempt should cost you around 240k. At level 85 Invention, using a Super Invention potion, your odds of getting this perk are 27.5%, or around 4 attempts for a total cost of 1 million GP, which is quite cheap for such a good perk. Alright guys, so now we're going to look at the optimal armor perks. So for your body armor, you're going to want Relentless 5, Crackling 4 combination. And then for the second slot in your body, you'll want Biting 4 and some secondary perk. Mobile, Dragon Slayer, Demon Slayer, and Venom Blood are all examples of a second perk you could try to go for along with Biting 4. Although usually it's expensive to go for these, so you'll usually just take what you can get. As for your legs, you'll want Devoted 4 and Impatient 4 in the first slot. Then you'll want Invigorating 4 and some secondary perk in your second slot. Alright, so now let's get right into the body armor perks, starting with the first combination. So for your body armor, the first combination you'll want is Relentless 5 and Crackling 4. To get this combination, you'll need level 94 Invention and you'll need 8 Vintage components. This perk is just like the combo we talked about earlier, but more powerful. Since these are advanced perks, we will be computing all the odds of getting these with level 120 Invention, since that is theoretically when you should start going for these, as it is way more cost effective. It will cost you around 1 million GP per attempt using Vintage components, which can easily be bought on the GE. At level 120 Invention with Extreme Invention boost, you are looking at a 4.9% chance of getting this combo, which means it will take you around 20 attempts on average, with an average cost of 20 mil for this combo. Now we will be moving on to getting Biting 4 plus some secondary perk for your top. So to get Biting 4, you'll need to use 7 Noxious components, 1 Dexterous component, and 1 Subtle component. These dexterous and subtle components can easily be gotten through disassembly. I'll link those in the description. As for Noxious components, these are fairly expensive. They are gotten by disassembling noxious weapons like staves and longbows. If the most cost-effective methods are used, these will cost around 8 million GP each, meaning around 55 to 60 million GP per attempt. Now, the odds of getting Biting 4 at level 120 Invention with Extreme Invention potions is around 63% to get some combo of Biting 4. This means on average it'll cost you around 100 mil to get Biting 4, and if you want to specifically go for Biting 4 plus Mobile, it'll cost you on average 180 mil to get that combination. Next, we will be moving on to the optimal leg slot perks. First, we will be talking about Devoted 4 and Impatient 4. Devoted is an invention perk that each hit has a chance of replicating the devotion ability for 3 seconds, like Enhanced Devoted but not as good. But the difference is we'll be pairing this perk in the same slot with Impatient 4, which Impatient 4, as we talked about before, is an invention perk that has a chance to add 3% extra adrenaline while using basic abilities. Now for this combination, you'll need 7 Zamrock components and 2 Ceradomin components. These can be easily obtained by disassembling Zamrock and Ceradomin Moliniers like I mentioned before. On average, each attempt is going to cost you 2.5 mil at level 120 Invention, and with the Extreme Invention boost, you have a 9.45% chance of getting this combination, which means on average it'll cost you around 25 million GP to get this perk combo. Finally, moving on, we have Invigorating plus Mobile. Now, alternatively, you can put any perk you want in the second slot, but I find Mobile is the best since it's easier to get than trying to get it on your top with Biting. Now, Invigorating is a perk that provides increased adrenaline gain with auto attacks. This is really good and adds up a lot when PVMing. So to get this combination, you'll need to use 6 culinary components, 1 oceanic component, 1 subtle component, and 1 dexterous component. Like I said before, dexterous and subtle components are easy to get and will be linked in the description, while oceanic components can be received by disassembling Sea Singer's gear, and culinary components can be received by disassembling a bunch of random items from the Recipe for Disaster store like kitchen knives, cleavers, sporks, etc. At level 120 Invention, your odds of getting this combo are 25.6% and will cost you a total of about 1 to 2 mil per attempt depending on how you get your oceanic components. This means you'll be paying an average of 2 to 4 million GP for this combination, which is really quite cheap considering what you're getting. I want to mention that alternatively, you can go for something like Impatient 4 and Enhanced Devoted 4 instead on your legs. We talked about both these perks previously in the video, and they would provide a more balanced defensive approach and would basically replace Invigorating 4 adrenaline gain with something like Enhanced Devoted. So those are the optimal armor perks, but I thought I'd mention a few things regarding shields. Yes, your shield should and can be perked out, and it's semi-cheap to do so. You'll want to go for the Turtling 4 perk on your shield, which basically Turtling is a perk that increases the duration and cooldown of Barricade by 10% per rank. So for instance, without Turtling, your Barricade will last 10.2 seconds. With Turtling 4, it will last 13.8 seconds, which can totally save your life. This can also be stacked with the Malitop's Farm Totem effect to potentially reach 17.4 seconds of Barricade. So to get Turtling 4, you'll need to use 6 Historic components and 3 Evasive components. And to get any Turtling 4 combo, it's a 42% chance with level 120 Invention with Extreme Potions. And this should end up only costing you around 2 to 300k to get this perk, which makes it insanely good to have on all your shields. Alright guys, so I hope this video helped you out. I know with the new wishes coming out and the new Invention wishes coming out, a lot of you are wondering what to use them on. So I hope this video you can look at how much things cost for like optimal perks and stuff like that, and kind of give you an idea of what you want to use your wishes on. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I also just recently did a video like this but about weapon perks, so if you're interested in that, I'll link it in the description and also at the end of the video. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. Again, make sure to subscribe and like. I also have new merch available in the description if that's something you're into. I think it's a really cool design, so make sure to check that out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.